delivery here for...
What?
Got a delivery here for Inspector Castillo. He's expecting it.
Sure, I'll take it. I'll give it to him. Thanks.
Considerate of you to let me oversleep again.
I was trying not to wake you. I thought you needed the rest.
When did this come?
You want some eggs Benedict?
When did this
No,
come,
now
Eden?
come on. You said you weren't going to read these. It was your day off.
I know, but I have to work today.
Oh, because of that? What is it?
It's a gun.
I know that. I saw Steve Bassett's name on it when I looked.
Well, if you know what it is, then why are you asking me, Eden?
I just wanted to see if you'd tell me voluntarily.
Well, it's police business, all right? Therefore, it's none of yours.
Mm-hmm. You said sweetly.
Look, I don't ask you what you're up to with Jack Lee all the time, do I?
Not up to anything.
Well, I'm glad to hear it, because you sure do spend a lot of time together doing it, whatever it isn't.
Well, this is a change. Thought I was supposed to be the one that's insecure and jealous all the time.
I'm every bit as insecure and jealous as you are. I just don't show it as much as you do, that's all.
You don't have to be jealous of Jack.
Well, I better not have to. I trust you.
Me?
Babe, yeah.
Babe.
I don't trust him, though, just you.
Eric.
Hey, Eric, come on in, yeah? Thank you.
How are you? Well, where's Jack?
He couldn't make it. He asked me to have him.
Actually, I asked Eric to stop by.
You asked Eric to come and you didn't tell me?
Yeah.
Well, I don't understand. How can you be a nurse and refuse to change your own patient sheets?
I assume you have servants to do that. I'm not a servant, only a nurse.
Yes, well, I don't think you're quite the nurse we've been looking for. But thank you for coming by. On your way out, can you ask the next lady to step in, please? Oh, what are you doing here?
I understand you're looking for a nurse for your husband.
Yes, I am. Is this some kind of joke?
No, it's not a joke, Gina. Here.
What's this?
Well, it's a resume. I don't think you're going to find a person better qualified for the job than Mary. I called her and asked her to come on in.
I'm just surprised you agreed.
Well, I'm looking for work at the moment, and I thought it couldn't hurt to apply.
Ask her to sit down.
Of course I am. I know how to conduct an interview, Ted. Won't you sit down?
Thank you.
And Ted, won't you sit down too?
Well, I live here, Gina. Thank you, though.
Well, of course you do. I know that too. I just meant that you're welcome to watch the interview, that's all. Well, excuse me. Here we go. You worked for 2 years in an intensive care unit.
That's right. I can give you all the references you like.
Uh-huh. Well, Mary, I thought you hated the Caplins.
I did. I'm not going to lie about it, but that was before I found out the truth, and I don't feel that way anymore.
Well, since Ted recommends you, and since you have such good credentials, you want to try it for a week? What do you say?
Oh, I'd love it.
Well, great. The doctors will tell you about the technical things. I don't pretend to know anything about that. And you'll have to stay in Mason's old room, if that's all right. That's the one nearest to my husband's. I want you as near to him at all times as possible, naturally. And I assume you can live in.
Oh, of course.
Wonderful. You have Sundays off and 1 night a week? When can you start?
Right away. I mean, right now, if you want.
Well, that's fine. I want to put an end to all this interviewing. You'd be surprised at how many people try to pass themselves off as qualified nurses. We'll go upstairs, I'll show you your room, and you can see my husband.
Fine, I'd like that.
Ted, thank you so much.
Oh, well, I'm glad you're going to be with us, Mary. It's good luck. I'll see you guys later. Thank you, Gina.
Thank you, Ted, for bringing Mary by. Come on, let's go upstairs.
Hi. Come on in. I wasn't really expecting you.
I know you're expecting Cruz.
Yeah. Yeah, actually I was. How'd you know that?
Because he called me, he wanted me to come over here. I hoped I'd get here before he did.
Well, no, I wonder why you did that.
Ted, he is going to talk to you and ask you difficult questions, and he wants me to be there when he does. But can we talk somewhere privately?
Sure, we're all alone now.
Ted, listen to me. You have to tell me the truth about the night that Steve was shot. I don't care what you tell to anybody else, but you have to tell me the truth.
Trust me. Like, it is better if you don't know. If I tell you, it'll make you an accessory. Now, I don't want that.
An accessory? Are you saying you've been lying all along now?
I hate seeing him like this.
Yes, I understand your husband was a very active man. It's very depressing to see someone like that incapacitated.
It's awful. Poor thing. Yo, I hope you know how to work all these machines. I don't have any idea.
Oh, yes, I've worked with all of them before. You don't have to worry.
Oh, I hate thunder and lightning.
It's an electrical storm. They say that it should pass over in a few hours.
Well, I hope so. It makes me terribly nervous. I'd feel better if I could take a sedative, but, I don't take pills anymore. I don't believe them, no. Bet you think I'm a big baby, don't you?
No, of course I don't. But listen, I'm going to take good care of your husband, so you just take care of yourself.
He just lies there. We don't know if he's aware of anything going on around him. Mary, do you think that it's possible for him to just one day wake up and be fine?
Well, I'm not a doctor, but I have heard of that happening.
No, we'll just have to wait and see, won't we? Oh, but as I said before, he is your patient and your room is right next door. It's all made up and ready for you.
You said that used to be Mason's room?
That's right. Oh, but you don't have to worry, he doesn't haunt it. He's not even here right now.
Well, I'm sure I'll be very comfortable there. I'll bring some of my things over later in the day, if that's all right.
That's fine, whatever. There's one more thing. I don't want any pictures of Sophia anywhere in this room. My husband hates her, you see, and I don't want him to get upset.
I think you better ask Cruz to explain. I'm just along for the ride today.
What is going on?
Well, Eric and I are going to take Ted down to the house in Ventura where Bassett was killed, and we're going to meet Christy and Julia there.
So what you were trying to do is reconstruct the crime. You want to catch them in the middle of a lie, is that it?
Something like that.
Cruz,
Yeah, something like that.
I think he has a right to not be put through something like this. He has suffered enough as it is.
Cruz feels that it's important.
Oh, wait a minute, Eric. As you know, my brother might be in a lot of trouble. Now, Jack Lee was on this case because he has a personal attachment to it. You are only Jack's associate.
I know what you're trying to say, Eden, but the fact is I am Jack's partner. And make no mistake about it. I work for Ted, not for Cruz, not for the DA.
Now, look, I don't want to offend you at all, but we hired Jack Lee because we wanted Jack Lee. We wanted his reputation, his knowledge, and his experience.
I understand, Eden, But the very fact that I'm here today is at Jack's insistence, because I happen to have even more experience in criminal law than he does. What you might not know is that I've been on top of this case from the very first day that Jack had it. Jack has relied on my expertise for 10 years successfully. And if you excuse me for saying so, in this area, you can't do better.
I'm not gonna say anything more. Every time I open my mouth, I stick my foot in it.
Ted, don't turn away from me. I'm not your enemy.
I know that.
Then don't shut me out. Look, right now you just admitted that you'd been lying, and now you don't want to say anything else about it. But don't you see it's Christy who's behind this? Ted, she doesn't care about you. All she cares about is saving herself.
Will you just stop it?
Don't let her do this to you.
No, just stop it, all right? Lakin, you don't know what you're talking about. Christy is scared. She's lost. She needs someone that will stand up for her.
She goes through her whole life needing somebody to stand up for her. That's how she operates.
No, that is not so. Now, will you just quit it, all right? I'm gonna get enough help from Cruz. I don't need any more from you. So just leave it alone. Just drop it.
This isn't like before when I just told everybody what happened.
Why not?
Because now we're back at the spot where everything took place. I hate this place. It makes everything so clear, you know?
I can understand that.
No, you don't, because I could say something wrong. I could start crying in front of these people.
All
I don't know.
right. Come on, it's okay. Okay. You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Now listen to me. There is nothing to be afraid of.
That's what I'm afraid of, right there. I don't like it. Now, what did you mean by wanting Lake in there for a reason?
Well, I know that Ted isn't going to be able to lie around her. That's been his big problem in this whole case is Lakin and the fact that he can't tell her what's really going on. I intend to capitalize on that.
Don't you think it's a little underhanded?
No, I don't think it's underhanded. If he's telling the truth, there'll be no problem. The problem is going to be to get her to go along with it, which maybe she will. I mean, she probably wants to know what went on in that house that night as much as the rest of us.
I'll tell you what I don't want. I don't want another repeat of what happened when you arrested my mother.
Now, Eden, that's out of my hands. I was doing my job then, and I'm doing my job now.
So what you're telling me is that I'm gonna have to be the one to make the adjustment? You know what happened when I did that last time.
I'm sorry. How else can we deal with it? My job doesn't change. Now, I'd appreciate you keeping in mind that I'm on Ted's side. Excuse me, there's Lakin there. I gotta talk to her. Can you handle this?
Yes.
Hey,
Hi.
can I bend your ear for a second?
Sure. What is it?
Well, you don't have to go along with this if you don't want to, you know?
I want to. I want to know the truth just as much as you do.
In other words, you don't think that Ted's been telling the truth?
I didn't say that.
Yeah, well, for whatever it's worth, if he is lying, I'm sure it's because he loves you, wants to protect you and keep you from becoming an accessory.
I don't think that's such a terrific way to show somebody you love them.
What are you doing here?
I'm one of your father's new nurses.
Who hired you?
Your stepmother, just a little while ago.
She had no right hiring anybody without consulting me first. Do you have any experience? What are your credentials?
I've been a nurse for 3 years. I've worked exclusively in IC units. Your stepmother has my full resume if you'd like to see it.
Yes, I would. How's my father doing?
He seems comfortable. There were no ill effects from the move, and his vital signs are steady.
I guess we have the machines to thank for that.
Yes, they're keeping him alive. But you know that.
Can I have a minute alone with my father, please?
Oh, of course. I'll be right outside if you need me.
I doubt if I will, but thank you. I know how you hate these artificial things. keeping you alive. I know that's not what you wanted. But it's important that you be given a chance to recover. We need you so much. The whole family's in turmoil right now. I'm doing my best, I really am, to try to do everything right, but I need you. I need you to guide me. But I promise you that the family will stick together and we'll get through this. No one will get in the way.
Oh, wet. Oh, the mail is all wet. Mason. It's from Mason.
Dear Gina, sorry you haven't heard from me before now. I guess we're both looking for ways to rebuild our lives, but emotional lumber and intellectual nails seem to be in short supply there, so I plan to make a new beginning somewhere away from Santa Barbara. I'll keep you posted. Meanwhile, take care, and God bless you.
No return address. Oh, I can't even make out the postmark. Oh, Mason. Mason, if you only knew the truth, you'd come back here in a flash. I wish I knew how to reach him. Lights go out, what'll happen to Cece?
He's fine.
I wish I were. That storm has me terrified. I was outside just a little while ago. You see what it's like out there. It's only 1 o'clock in the afternoon, but it's dark enough to be midnight. Machines all right?
Oh, yeah, they're fine.
Did you see the flickering a little while ago? Oh, I thought we were going to have to scramble around by candlelight all evening. I don't even know where the flashlight is. Cece told me where it was, but I completely forgot. Besides, storms always drive everything right out of my mind. I bet you're bothered by this storm too, aren't you?
Oh, no, I like them.
Oh, well, I see. I'm always afraid that lightning is gonna strike me. Anyway, I just came up here because I need some company. Is that all right?
Oh, of course it is.
Good. I suppose you don't want to have a drink with me, do you?
No, I don't drink much, and never when I'm working.
Oh, I see. Well, I hate drinking alone, but I understand and everything. It's all right. You used to be a nun.
Yep.
And now you're a nurse. Well, I don't know if I could live a life that's so completely self-sacrificial, you know? Not everyone is cut out for that kind of thing.
Oh, be careful. There's an oxygen line here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize how careful you have to be in this room.
No, that's all right. There's no harm done.
I hope you're gonna like working here for us. It's not an easy household to be in, though. We can't trust anybody. Cece and I were under an awful lot of emotional pressure all the time. Now that I don't even have him to lean on, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Poor thing, you know, sometimes I think he'd be better off dying than having to come back to all of this stress and deal with it all over again.
Mrs. Capwell, it's always better to live.
I don't know about that, Mary. What's happening? What are we gonna do?
You all right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go on then. So, Ted, you were about to come in the door.
Yeah.
So you walked in, you saw Christy with the gun in her hand. What'd you do then?
Walked in and I called his name. Yeah.
And when did he take the gun out of his pocket?
Well, now he said right on time, Capwell. And then he pulled the gun out like he was waiting for me.
Oh, I see. Okay. So you were up here, and Kristen, you were here. I guess Steve was over there then, huh?
No, I was over there.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you go over there then? Eric, you want to fill in for Steve? You want to stand here? That's where Steve was here.
Yeah.
Okay, so then, here you go. He saw you come in the door, and he turned and pointed the gun at you.
Wait a minute. He's right-handed. He had it in his right hand.
And he turned the other way.
Yeah.
Like this, huh? So this is exactly the position he was in when he was shot.
Yes.
What happened next, Kristen?
I just, shut my eyes and pulled the trigger. I didn't even see what I was shooting at. I just shot and I hit.
But you knew what you were doing.
I knew what I wanted to do. I knew how to stop him before he could hurt Ted.
Right, so you shot him. And I guess he must have staggered back to where the tape is and landed on his left side, did he?
Yeah.
Huh, well, you wanna do that for us, Sarah? Okay. Show us where Steve finally laid himself down. All right, good. This is starting to make sense. So, what happened to the gun when he fell?
Drop.
Kristen?
Yeah. He dropped it.
Okay, he dropped it. So, good. Let me get this straight then. He was there. Christy was there. He saw Ted. Steve turned around, pointed his gun at Ted. You shot him. He dropped his gun, staggered a little bit, and fell down. Is that the way it happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly how it happened, Cruz.
Uh-huh. No, it isn't.
What do you mean?
I mean, you're lying, man. Both of you.
Mrs. Capwell, don't panic. I just have to get the emergency battery set up.
You know, what if you can?
I can if I can find the connector. Is there a flashlight in here?
No, not that I know of, Mary. You can't let him die. You have to do something. I know what I said before earlier about him being better off, but I didn't mean it.
Mrs. Capwell, just go and sit down, all It's okay.
Is he all right? Is he okay? Mary?
He's fine. He's stabilized.
Thank God.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure he wasn't off the life support system long enough to make a difference. Boy, it's a good thing you have these emergency batteries, though. There's no telling how long the power's going to be off.
Well, at least you kept your head, Mary, which is a lot more than the rest of us do.
Well, he was so close. I was frightened.
Of course you were. It was a frightening moment, Mrs. Capwell.
Well, I'm glad this didn't throw you, Marion. I want to apologize for being so critical of you earlier.
You don't have to apologize. Look at this. There's a flashlight right here.
Are you okay?
I was just thinking.
What?
It's all so incredible, isn't it?
What do you find so incredible?
The machines. It's awesome once you stop and think about it. They actually have the power to keep a man from dying.
This is the lab report. It states very clearly there's no evidence whatsoever this gun was dropped. It's practically brand new. Now, if you'd have told me that he fell with the gun in his hand, then that would have made sense, and I would have believed you. But you have both insisted that he dropped the gun before he fell.
He did.
No evidence whatsoever of abuse on this weapon. No lint from the rug, no dent on the floor that would do justice to a gun this heavy falling on it. Now, that's what my eyes tell me, and that's what this lab report tells me.
I don't care what your lab report says. That's how it happened. So there has to be some other explanation.
Excuse me, isn't it just possible that the gun hit Steve's shoe, it broke its fall, and so there'd be no marks?
I think that's kind of far-fetched, don't you, Eric? But just for the record, I checked his shoes. He was a real neat guy, apparently. There's not a mark on him.
Well, you seem to be so far ahead of the rest of us, Inspector. Why don't you tell us what your conclusions are? What do you think happened?
I think somebody pulled Steve's gun out of his pocket
What?
after he was dead and put it on the floor by his hand.
Come on.
That's crazy.
No, you see, you did it to make this letter-perfect story you've been telling us seem plausible.
All right, maybe we can't explain what you're talking about. But we know what we saw with our own eyes.
Do you?
Yes. I saw the gun drop right there.
Oh,
right there.
Christy, I thought we agreed that the gun dropped right here. Now, which was it, Ted? Excuse me, you're both wasting our time, and I don't appreciate it.
Look, I don't see what point there is in badgering these people now, Cruz. They both agree on what they saw.
Yeah, and I'm wondering how long they're going to insist on that. Why don't you start talking to me, Ted? Now, did it happen like this, or did it happen like that?
Well, it happened just like Christy said it did.
Oh, I see, it did, huh? Do you know what you're doing?
Yeah. I'm answering your questions.
You are begging me to deliver you neck first to the DA, both of you. Now, one of you killed a man, the other is covering up. It's a real stupid mistake for both of you to be pulling. Hey, listen, I'd love to help you out of what is obviously a very touchy situation here, but you're gonna have to start leveling with me. Once I hit that door, it's out of my hands. I won't be able to help either one of you at all.
Capwell residence.
Who is this?
This is Mr. Capwell's nurse. I don't think there's anyone else in the house at the moment.
Mary, is that you?
Mason?
You sound as surprised as I am. What are you doing there?
I work here now. As of this morning, I'm taking care of your father.
How is he?
Mason, he's in a coma. The doctors have him on life support systems, but at least he is here in the house.
Well, he's home.
Yes, Mason, where are you? Do you have any idea how many people are looking for you?
Yeah, a whole lynch mob. I would imagine that's one reason I'm staying out of sight.
No, I get the impression that people are genuinely worried about you. Would you like me to have someone call you when they get in?
No, I'd appreciate it if you didn't even mention that I called. I don't want to see anyone. But I do need a few of my things. I was going to ask Rosa to help me, but maybe I can prevail on you instead. Would you mind?
Well, that depends. What would you like me to do?
Pack up some of my clothes that are in my room. You'll find a suitcase in the closet. Just, leave it outside in the gazebo. You know where that is?
No.
You, go out the back of the house and down past the pool and the tennis courts. You'll see it if you put it there. I'll stop by when I can and pick it up sometime around 7 this evening. Close to that if I can make it anyway.
Okay.
You better not put the suitcase out until just before 7. I don't want anyone stumbling over it and asking questions. There's not much traffic down there, but you never know.
Mason, I'd like to see you too. Can you spare a minute while you're here?
I can't really take the time to see anyone, Mary. Like a bandit, in and out before anyone knows.
Well, I'm sorry. I thought that after our last conversation that, I don't know.
I'm sorry. I'm glad you're taking care of Dad, though. Did Eden hire you?
No, Mrs. Capwell did.
Sophia?
No, Gina. Eden approved of me, though.
Oh, did she now? Oh, that's a high compliment. She doesn't approve of many people. I speak from personal experience. Anyway, if you can get that suitcase ready for me, that'd be great. And don't tell anyone I called.
All right.
Bye, Mary.
Mason, I just hate to think of you alone, wandering around out there. If there's anything I can do for you.
Well, if there were, you'd probably be the first person I'd call, but there isn't.
I see. Well, goodbye then.
Bye.
Gina, wake up.
What's wrong? What happened?
What did you do? Did you pass out or something?
No, I'm just so exhausted from worrying about your father.
I imagine. Worrying about anybody must be exhausting for you.
Eden, did you wake me up to insult me?
No. I wanted to know who was on the phone.
What do you mean?
On the phone. Who called on the phone?
I didn't hear anything.
It rang 5 or 6 times. I was in the shower.
Well, I don't know who called. I was asleep, obviously.
You know, without Mason here to pull your strings, you don't do very well, do you? You're out of your depth. I think you're beginning to realize that.
You don't have to worry about me. I'll do just fine.
You will. What if Mason never comes back? Now, I don't think he will after what's happened, but what's going to happen to you, Gina?
I'll do what I said I'd do. I'm not leaving.
And you better live out this fantasy life real quick. Because when my father comes out of that coma, he's going to make sure that you and Mason are out of this house forever. That is, if Mason is foolish enough to come back.
Anyone with 2 eyes can tell. Cece's not going to recover.
They're both just afraid to go back on what they've sworn to over and over.
Cruz, let me talk to him alone.
You think it'll do any good?
Just one last chance to get the truth out of him, please.
And what if you do? What happens then? What will you do with the truth?
I'll tell you.
Will you?
Yes.
I appreciate that. Of course, you know you're taking a chance. You may not hear what you want to hear.
I am not worried. I know whatever I find out is not going to incriminate Ted. It's going to incriminate Christy.
Yeah, well, Lincoln, that remains to be seen. But I'll tell you, if we don't get through to him, it's going to the DA.
But I'm just going to have to get the truth out of him, won't I?
Well, it'd be great if you could. He's a tough nut to crack.
It's only he thinks he's doing the right thing.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. So, Ted, Christy, thank you for your cooperation. I'm out of here. See you later. You want to give me a lift now? You ready?
Ready?
I'm staying here to talk to Ted.
Yeah, that's a good one.
What now?
Ted, it's time.
Mrs. Kaplan, you frightened me.
Oh, I'm sorry, but where are you going?
Well, Mr. Capwell is resting quietly, and I thought I'd step out for a breath of fresh air.
And you're taking your belongings with you?
Oh, this.
Yes. You know, if you were going to quit, you at least could have given us some notice. Instead of just sneaking away and not telling everybody. Wait a minute, isn't that Mason's suitcase?
As a matter of fact, yes, it is.
What are you doing with Mason's suitcase? Mary, I'm waiting for an answer.
Welcome home.
Hi. Well, if it isn't the light of my life, and don't you look nice and net? You going to a party, or are you just coming from one?
Or maybe it's just started. Look, I made dinner.
Oh, that's beautiful, baby. Thanks.
So give me your cup. How'd everything go with Ted and Christy?
Not too well.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, I took him through it. I wish there was some easy way of saying this, but there's no doubt in my mind that they're both lying.
No.
Yeah. I left Lakin there with Ted. She wanted one last chance to try to shake the truth out of him. I figured it couldn't hurt, you know. But I'll tell you, if that doesn't work, I'm washing my hands of it. I'm giving it to the DA, and he can take it from there.
Cruz.
Yeah. Deja vu, right? It's my only option. I had no choice.
I can't believe this.
Look, let's not talk about it now. Let's sit down and have a nice dinner. Who knows, maybe they can all get lucky.
I know in my heart he didn't do anything wrong. You know, Ted, he would never. It's Christy. If he's lying to protect her.
Eden, that's not going to make any difference in the eyes of the law.
I can't stand this.
Would you rather I hadn't told you? Should I have lied myself?
No, you know you can't do that. If you don't practice what you preach, you can't judge anyone else, right?
That's right. I'm investigating. I didn't invent this situation. I warned Ted.
I just can't believe this.
Look, I don't want to talk about this. Let's just sit down, let the day off our backs, and have this nice dinner.
I'm not hungry.
Eden, please don't.
Look, I know what's going to happen if you take this case to the DA. Now, I can't help what you have to do. And I certainly can't help the way I feel about you doing it.
Ted, I know. If I had been Christy, I probably would have done the same thing. Steve was a monster. He deserved to die. I understand that. Ted, that was between Christy and Steve.
Yeah, this is all stuff you're making up, Lakin. I haven't said anything.
I know you haven't said anything. That's what makes me so mad. Ted, you don't owe her anything.
I owe it to her to keep my promise.
What promise? Huh?
That I would stand up for her and be a friend to her.
Oh, did you tell her you were going to jail with her, too? Ted, I know you. I know when you're hedging.
Look, Lakin, I am not going to turn my back on Christy. She doesn't have anybody in this world that is going to help her out. You know, she didn't do anything wrong that day. And I am not going to let her go to prison for 20 years because of it.
For 20 years?
Yeah, that's what Steve said, and he ought to know.
Oh, when did he say this, Ted?
It's murder. She has to pay. She has to go to jail. 20 years. 20 years.
Ted, did Steve say this before or after he was shot? It was after he was shot, wasn't it? It had to have been. That's why you two are so scared, isn't it?
I can't tell you.
Ted, if you can't tell me, then it's over between us. I love you, but I can't be with a man who won't be honest with me. And you're refusing to tell me it's because you don't trust me. And I don't think that's right. We can't trust each other. I guess we don't have much going for us.
Look, Lakin, please come back, all right? I'm sorry. Lakin,